Tonight, here we go.
We're here on the road 24 hours a day to provide that warming gear.
A bracing plunge into the cold, how we are getting set for the frostiest weekend in years. Life in limbo. More than 10,000 people finding out this week their jobs may be at risk. At least 12 federal government departments now notifying employees of their plans. And a plea from the family members of the victims of Barrhaven's 2024 mass killing.
Every day is another day he's not with his wife and his daughter. The family just can't move forward, not until they're all together.
To be reunited. A brother who misses his wife and barely knows his young daughter. Good evening. We begin tonight with the extreme cold set to hit the capital this weekend. A polar vortex gripping much of Ontario will make it feel like minus 40 tonight. For those heading outside, it's best to be prepared and stay protected. Tonight's overnight low in Ottawa will plummet to minus 27 with the wind making it feel like minus 39. And the low tomorrow night again extremely cold. In fact, even colder. It's expected to dip to minus 29. CTV's Tyler Fleming volunteering to brave the cold in the Byward Market for us tonight and joins us live. Tyler.
I don't know about volunteer. I volunteered this morning when it was sunny and it was wonderful outside. It was cold. I can tell you the sun has set and the temperature has significantly dropped. It's very cold out here. And on top of the gusting winds that we're going to see this weekend, it's going to be cold. It's going to be extreme. And with that, it's important to know the signs of frostbite. That crisp creak under skate, a reminder it's cold. The sun is trying to help.
It warms it up a little bit.
But the wind is winning. It feels like minus 20. Still, Carter and his grandmother Ons are enjoying the canal.
I have a PD day at school, and I thought it would be fun.
Having the right gear helps.
Wearing like snow pants, a jacket, gloves, and a hat.
But with extreme cold around the region over the weekend and a wind chill feeling like minus 40, frostbite can set in quickly. So know the 4 Ps. Pink, the first sign. Pain. Affected areas will hurt. Patches of white will appear. Skin is dying and has a waxy feel. And prickles. The area will numb.
Frostbite is obviously a preoccupation, especially for the vulnerable population. We're talking the elderly, we're talking the infant, the people who have no choice but to be outside, like our paramedics and members of the shelter community.
City libraries and community centres are places to warm up, and for those unhoused, shelters like the Mission and Shepherds of Good Hope are open around the clock.
Some of the things that we routinely carry on us are winter sleeping bags, so they're rated up to minus 40. We always keep water in stock with us.
So is the Salvation Army, along with its mobile outreach team.
Not everybody we engage with feels comfortable going into some settings, so that's why we're here on the road 24 hours a day to provide that warming gear.
The deep freeze may have some motorists needing a battery boost. This weekend, CAA expects thousands of calls, and while response times are typically quick.
Even if you're going from an indoor garage to an indoor garage, bring some nice warm clothing, have some extras, and then you're ready for anything that happens. Antifreeze, the snow brush, which is in the front. I also have some of the nice to have optionals. We've got an emergency first aid kit. We have survival kit. We have some emergency food and water.
Booster cables, gloves, a reflector, and flashlight are important too. And for those who are heading out, Carter and Ons have this tip.
It's not cold if you move.
Patricia, it's probably not cold enough that we'll be setting any records, but what I can tell you is the last time, it was back in 2019 when we were the coldest capital on the planet, beating out Ulaanbaatar in northern Mongolia. So that was minus 36 then. I think we were supposed to dip to minus 39, so I think we might do it this time.
No records required, please, Tyler. Come on back in. Thanks so much for this.
Yeah.
CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us, and CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the extreme cold temperatures set to grip Ottawa and Eastern Ontario. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. As we take another live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. So right now, minus 15. It is going to get quite a bit colder overnight tonight. And Jackie has all of those details for us, but she is inside where it is warm and beautiful at the Mayor's Gala tonight at the Chateau Laurier, Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, festivities are getting underway here, and for a lot of people who are heading out, bundle up. Again, this is going to be one of the coldest stretches we will likely see this season. The Arctic air will be lingering, as Tyler mentioned, for the next several days. This has prompted a cold warning for Eastern Ontario. You factor in those wind chill values, it will at times feel more between -35, -40. Let me give you a broader look of just how extreme the cold is affecting the country, stretching from Saskatchewan to New Brunswick. Now, the temperatures continue to fall throughout the day and into the evening. Some of the coldest parts of the country will be in Ontario and Quebec. The coldest time of day, well, it will likely be the early hours of Saturday and Sunday before potentially starting to warm up by the time Monday rolls around. Right now, temperatures across the region sitting between -15, even -21 in Pembroke, as well as Petawawa. But again, factor in those wind chill values, temperatures already sitting, but are feeling more closer to about -32. So again, it is a cold start to the weekend, so we recommend bundling up and staying as warm as possible.
Still ahead, is there a youth vaping crisis? What the experts gathered in Ottawa are saying today. That story coming up. Thousands of federal employees will be spending the weekend thinking about their future after receiving notices this week. Their jobs may be cut in the weeks and months ahead. Unions say more than 10,000 notices were issued to employees just this week. CTV's Austin Lee is following this story for us tonight and joins us live. Austin.
Well, Patricia, the federal government is moving ahead with its plan to cut the federal public service by 28,000 positions over the next 4 years. And this week, another 10,000 notices were issued about potential layoffs. Data provided by unions shows that workers in at least 12 departments received notices this week that their jobs may be affected by the comprehensive expenditure review. Now, a notice does not mean you're guaranteed to lose your job, but it is a notice that you may be affected. Here's a look at the number of notices issued to employees at some departments. Approximately 2,400 notices issued to employees at Global Affairs, 1,600 to workers at Health Canada, 1,380 notices issued to Transport Canada, 1,023 to those working at Innovation, Science and Economic Development Canada. There was another 988 notices issued to workers at Environment and Climate Change Canada, where the department says they will cut 840 positions, and there were also 333 notices that have been issued to workers at Canadian Heritage. Now, CTV News Ottawa has reached out to several departments for details on how many jobs will be cut, but most have not responded to our request. The federal government wants to trim the size of the public service again by 28,000 jobs over the next 4 years. They hope that that plan will find them $60 billion in savings. Patricia.
CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. And you can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the notices issued to the federal public service this week and those downsizing plans. You can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan that QR code on your screen using your smartphone. Well, the family of the victim from one of the worst mass killings in Ottawa's recent memory is calling on the federal government to intervene. While some family members have been approved to stay in Canada on compassionate grounds, the only child left in the extended family remains overseas, separated from her father. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us live now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, the family says in just 2 years they've lost almost everything: a wife, 4 children, and a close family friend. They say healing can't begin until they're all together, and now they're asking the immigration minister to help reunite what's left of their family overseas.
Chelaka Wickramasinghe hasn't seen his daughter in almost 2 years. She's 3 now and knows her father only through a screen.
I miss her a lot because she's our princess in my family.
Chelaka came to Canada to support his brother, Dhanushka Wickramasinghe, who is the sole survivor of a mass stabbing in Barrhaven in 2024, the attack killing his wife, 4 children, and a close family friend. Fabio de Souza, who lived with the family, pleaded guilty last year and was sentenced to life in prison. Since then, Chelaka has stayed, cooking meals, helping rebuild a business, and making sure his brother isn't alone.
I cannot leave my brother this moment, because he also is still struggling to live.
Recently, his permanent residency was approved on humanitarian and compassionate grounds, along with his brothers and fathers. But the program only applies to people already in Canada. His wife and daughter remain in Sri Lanka after their visitor visas were denied in 2024. A request for reconsideration was also rejected.
Brother is torn. Every day is another day he's not with his wife and his daughter. And so knowing that you're causing your brother that pain because he's helping you, again, that the family just can't move forward, not until they're all together.
Their immigration lawyer, Ronnie Carey, says Chelaka can now sponsor his family, but that process could take another 14 months. In the meantime, she says she's reached out to the immigration minister multiple times to help reunite the family sooner with no response.
The immigration minister could look at the reconsideration request, even though it was denied by the visa office, reopen the visitor visa applications and issue those visitor visas so they can come on a plane next week. That would be the best scenario here.
In a statement to CTV News, Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada says it cannot comment on individual cases due to privacy concerns. The family plans to live together once reunited, saying it's the only way forward after unimaginable loss.
He don't have a wife, he don't have any babies, so I want to be father for my baby girl as well.
And the family's lawyer says humanitarian and compassionate cases can typically take up to 10 years. She says this case highlights the delays and disconnect in Canada's immigration system, and that most people who know of the mass killing would agree there has to be a faster way to reunite the family. Patricia?
Indeed. CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, former Canadian Olympic snowboarder Ryan Wedding is in custody after his arrest in Mexico City on drug trafficking charges.
And just to tell you how bad of a guy Ryan Wedding is, he went from an Olympic snowboarder to the largest narco trafficker in modern times. He is a modern-day El Chapo.
The 44-year-old Wedding is accused of being behind one of the most violent drug trafficking organizations. He's wanted by the FBI for allegedly running an organization responsible for importing about 60 tons of cocaine a year into the United States. We have breaking news on a W5 investigation. A man accused of murdering his girlfriend in Mexico has been declared guilty. 23-year-old Kiara Agnew from Dawson Creek, British Columbia, was beaten to death at a five-star resort in Playa del Carmen nearly 3 years ago. Her boyfriend, Ryan Friesen, was charged in her killing, but was found not guilty by a Mexican judge. Now, after a review of the case by a Mexican magistrate, that ruling has been overturned. His lawyers are appealing the decision. Avery Haynes will have more tonight on CTV National News at 11, and the full documentary, If I'm Ever Found Dead, airs Saturday at 7 p.m. on CTV, Crave, and on YouTube. OC Transpo is scrambling to keep buses on the road, forcing riders to deal with frequent bus cancellations. Now officials say everything is on the table to keep passengers moving, including sending buses out of town for repairs and looking at buying used vehicles. CTV's Josh Morano joins us now in studio with what riders can expect on this.
Yeah, Patricia, OC Transpo says bus availability remains tight with hundreds of trips canceled each week. Now the Transit Authority is considering some unconventional options to deal with ongoing maintenance issues and fleet shortages. For Jacqueline Stesko, bus cancellations continue to frustrate her.
It feels like it should be an easy thing to do to get from Alta Vista or Ottawa South to downtown core and back every day. It is not.
Stesko takes the number 6 bus often, but she says she's been left standing in the cold numerous times, waiting for a bus that never arrives.
It can be really challenging to just stand and wait for an unknown amount of time for whenever the bus decides to show up. And when they do show up, they can be really busy because they have been backed up.
She's not alone. During the week of January 4th, Route 6 had the most trip cancellations, with just over 11% of trips scrapped, followed by Route 7 at just over 12%, two of the busier routes for downtown traffic.
The 7, it's a lot worse from last year, but that's for a lot of them, and the app is not reliable either, so it's hard to actually get on time.
We've seen that with the 11, we've seen that with the 14. Both of those are really important crosstown routes, and people are upset that such an important crosstown route is one of the ones that is most frequently canceled.
New data released Friday shows 5% of scheduled bus trips have been canceled, often due to mechanical issues or not enough buses available.
We're doing everything and everything that we can to get our fleet levels back to where we want on the bus side of things.
To address the shortage, the transit service is now looking to buy used buses and sending more buses outside the city for repairs.
We're at the early stages of that. We've only sent one bus so far. We want to see what their performance is, and should they produce good results, we'd be looking at sending more buses on a regular basis to them.
For Stesko, she says all riders are asking for is simple: a transit system that works when they need it to.
A perfect world is that we have a reliable transportation system that gets people to where they want to and need to go to manage their lives, and that we are able to rely less on car transport overall.
As mentioned, the city is also looking to acquire additional used buses to bolster the fleet while waiting for the delayed delivery of zero-emission buses. There are currently 41 electric buses available for service. Patricia.
CTV's Josh Moreno live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, meantime, OC Transpo is increasing train frequency on O Train Line 1 as it deals with a shortage of trains. Only 18 of 59 O Train vehicles are in service as the cartridge-bearing assemblies are replaced after spalling was detected. 4 or 5 trains will be running single-car service instead of double-car trains until the repairs are completed. OC Transpo says it has adjusted operating plans to increase train frequency to every 3 to 4 minutes during morning and afternoon rush hours to keep customers moving. Officials expect 2 more trains to be available on Monday. More than 24 programs are on the chopping block at Algonquin College campuses in Ottawa and Pembroke. It's the latest round of cuts for the institution as it and others like it across the province grapple with what they say is underfunding and challenges. CTV's Kimberly Johnson joins us in studio. Kimberly.
Patricia, the possible changes could mean that the school will no longer take on future students for 30 programs in things like hospitality and paralegal. And the union says the proposed cuts could impact as many as 30 full-time and 70 other positions.
Students at Algonquin College are bracing for more possible cuts to programs.
I feel that it's hard on the students that do want to take those programs.
Would be very disappointing and detrimental to most people trying to get into that field.
The college says about 30 programs could be suspended, including hospitality, law clerk, journalism, paralegal, and Bachelor of Culinary Arts and Food Science, as well as programs at the Pembroke campus, like business.
Very concerned for the future well-being of our region and, more, I could be really broad and say Canada more widely, because we help prepare Canadians for the future.
The union representing academic staff says that these are vital programs for students.
Some of the programs that are being cut are pretty serious, important programs that we require to keep our communities going. If I think just about the ones in our department, paralegal and law clerk, those are substantial programs that are required in our community.
Algonquin College is facing a $34.8 million deficit, citing the ongoing tuition freeze and a cap on international students. Post-secondary schools are calling on the Ford government for billions of dollars in funding starting next year, while Ontario announced $242 million for post-secondary institutions earlier this month. Critics say that's not enough.
Now more than ever, when our economy is under attack from the U.S., from tariff uncertainty, we need to be making sure that we're doing everything we can to provide employers in the Ottawa region with a highly skilled, competitive workforce.
Last year, Algonquin College cut 37 programs and closed the Perth campus. Algonquin's Board of Governors will vote the proposed changes on February 23rd.
Just gives less opportunities for people in the community.
On its website announcing the possible changes, the school says that its responsibility is to ensure that they can continue to deliver high-quality learning experiences and protect the long-term sustainability of the college. Patricia.
CTV's Kimberly Johnson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, if you live in the Athens area, you may want to spend the weekend looking for a lottery ticket worth $100,000. OLG says an encore ticket from the February 8th, 2025 lottery remains unclaimed. It was sold in Athens Township, 125 kilometers southwest of Ottawa. Players have 1 year from the draw date to claim their prize. Well, coming up, it will be a cold weekend for a skate on the Rideau Canal. More on that coming up. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. The Gold Heart Gala now underway for the Mayor's Charity Ball here at Chateau Laurier. The festivities underway with a live violinist as well. Take a look at these wonderful presentation here. And speaking of wonderful this evening, here's a live look through our Centennial's sky cam, where it's minus 16 degrees, but again, wind chill values about minus 27. Keep in mind, strong winds are contributing to the temperatures dropping. By 9 p.m., it will be minus 22.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Boal.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
Today's snow report brought to you by Calabogie Peaks. Play outside at Calabogie Peaks, the big mountain close to home.
Here is today's snow report. There's some nice new snow down at Calabogie Peaks, and all of the lifts are available with a number of runs as well. 8 runs open to skiers and snowboarders at Vorlage, 4 lifts and 14 runs. At Camp Fortune, 5 lifts, 20 of 27 runs, are open. At Edelweiss, it's 2 of 5 and 14 runs, and 3 of 6 over at Mont Cascade. 15 runs for skiers brave enough to head out in the cold this weekend.
With a fabulous fleet and boots for your feet, Calabogie is the place to meet. Big mountain, close to home.
Well, every Friday we want to put the spotlight on 3 good things happening in our city. We begin with the green flag flying on the Rideau Canal Skateway. The National Capital Commission says the full 7.8-kilometer stretch of the Rideau Canal is open between Rideau and Carleton University, along with Dow's Lake. So if you are heading out for a skate this weekend, enjoy, but remember to bundle up. Robbie Burns Day is Sunday, the annual celebration honoring Scotland's national poet, Robert Burns. The Scottish Society of Ottawa is hosting its annual Robbie Burns Supper on Saturday night at the Sergeant's Mess on Queen Elizabeth Drive. For tickets, visit the Scottish Society's website. And you can walk down the aisles and plan your dream wedding this weekend at the Capital Wedding Show. The show runs Saturday and Sunday at the Ottawa Conference and Event Centre on Coventry Road. Tickets are available on the Capital Wedding Show website. Well, do you have a story for us to include in our 3 good things segment? Something light, happy, a community event, or notable achievement to brighten the day? Send your ideas to ottawanews@ctv.ca. Well, it was a sunny but frigid start to the weekend in Ottawa. Beautiful day along the Ottawa River behind the Supreme Court of Canada this afternoon. Now, it looks really, really nice, except when you look at it knowing there's a cold warning in effect, so you do need to bundle up if you are heading outside tonight or this weekend. As we go back to Jackie, who is warm and it's a little quieter. You're back inside the main ballroom at the Chateau Laurier now.
Yes, that's right, Patricia. You alluded that it's sunny today, and it's kind of a tease because you're like, oh, it's going to be so nice outside, but then you feel that bitter cold. So if you can stay indoors as much as possible, I recommend it. It reduces the risk of frostbite, as well as the Arctic cold, or the cold Arctic air will continue to settle over the region throughout the weekend. And taking a closer look now, a reminder that a cold warning for Eastern Ontario is in effect, with wind chill values between minus 35 and minus 40. The deep freeze sticking around until Monday. Now, right now, temperature about minus 16. We saw a daytime high of about minus 12, but again, with those northwesterly winds moving through, and it is going to be moving in really quickly, temperatures are continuing to drop. Some of the coldest parts of the country for this weekend, it will be in Ontario and Quebec. The coldest time of day, again, the early hours of Saturday, where we will see wind chill values closer to minus 40, and Sunday as well. Before starting Monday, things will start to warm. So we are keeping an eye on this. But again, with that warm weather, it could bring some significant snow. More on that in just a bit. But for now, overnight lows across the region, about minus 27 for not just Ottawa, but even around Cornwall, Brockville, Boal, minus 32 in Bancroft. Again, this is not factoring in the wind chill value, so it will feel closer to minus 40. Tomorrow's daytime highs, luckily the sun warming us up to minus 18 degrees, but it will feel closer to about minus 32. Again, with those wind chill values, it's going to be a pretty cold one. And keeping an eye on the U.S. here right now, a big weather system is moving through for the weekend, will likely hit southern Ontario by Sunday evening. How does that affect us here in Ottawa? Well, it's still early, but the forecasts show that there is potential for our region to get between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow beginning Sunday afternoon, early evening, and this could stretch into Monday as well. It's already prompted a special weather statement for the Kingston area, and I wouldn't be surprised if we get this for the Ottawa area as well. Now, the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business. Again, the periods of snow moving in Sunday evening, where overnight lows will be minus 20 going into Monday. Anticipating 10 to 15 centimeters for our Monday. The daytime high minus 11, but you can see that we're going to start to get back to seasonal temperatures, about minus 10 and minus 11 for those daytime highs, but the overnight lows still in those minus double digits. So let's get through this weekend, Patricia. Again, big topic of conversation is what are we doing for the most vulnerable who are going to be out in this cold? We are here at the Gold Hearts Gala. It's the mayor's charity ball, and he will be speaking of this. I'm sure it's on top of mind for many people here this evening.
All right, look forward to that, Jackie. Thank you very much.
I would not suggest that anyone coming to Nashville plan on wearing number 59.
Yeah, exactly.
And Washington score!
Well, coming up, it was a rough night in Nashville, as it turns out, for your Ottawa Senators.
Tonight, a former Canadian Olympian turned alleged drug lord arrested.
He is a modern-day El Chapo. He is a modern-day Pablo Escobar.
Where Ryan Wedding was captured and the string of charges. Later on CTV National News and Watch on Crave.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
Well, it was briefly considered an excellent alternative to smoking, but there are new calls for tougher restrictions on vaping because it's actually leading to more people addicted to nicotine. A conference in Ottawa today bringing together healthcare providers and researchers to discuss what many say is a growing problem. CTV's Camille Wilson reports.
Is a tobacco and nicotine-free Canada.
Jacob Wolashin used to be anti-vaping, but one day it all changed.
Hard as hell.
Navigating his journey to quit smoking, he says vaping became an addiction.
I used that to actually help quit smoking, and then I realized how much I was actually vaping was more than I was smoking back then.
Wolashin started vaping 2 years ago, but stopped recently to improve his heart health. He is now telling his story at the Ottawa State-of-the-Art Clinical Approaches to Smoking Cessation Conference.
Vaping is one of the emerging or concerning alternative nicotine products we're seeing. We're also seeing things like pouches and other formats of nicotine products.
Experts, healthcare providers, and researchers have gathered to discuss smoke cessation and vaping alternatives to reduce nicotine addiction and save lives.
I'm on the patch right now. I've used the Nicorette inhaler.
There are concerns about a youth vaping and nicotine crisis, and officials are calling for government action.
Ask provincial governments and Health Canada to really develop forceful and thoughtful regulation of vaping products and to address the modern epidemic of tobacco-caused diseases, which only they can address appropriately.
Many of our youth are vaping now, not only using the electronic devices, but also utilizing alternative nicotine products such as pouches.
Experts say there's been a rise in vaping products and nicotine pouches in youth. They say it's concerning because many have never smoked before, and vaping has become a gateway to cigarette smoking.
They're often being marketed to people that have never smoked before and are using nicotine recreationally and unfortunately become addicted to nicotine.
Statistics show approximately 5 to 10% of Canadians vape, but rises to 30% of high school students.
The messages are quite clear. The tobacco addiction caused by smoking or by vaping is an unbelievably significant public health problem. And at a time when we're trying to address the challenges in our healthcare system, an obvious place to focus is on ensuring that young people never become nicotine addicts.
Wolashin says going through the University of Ottawa Heart Institute helped him a lot and hopes it will do the same for others going through the same addiction.
Talking with health professionals, the nurses and everything, was a lot easier than talking to anybody else about quitting smoking. And they're not judgmental.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
And tonight's big picture, Fiona the hippo is set to turn 9 years old. The Cincinnati Zoo posting a video of Fiona in a pool. Fiona is famous for surviving after being born 6 weeks early and being too small to stand and nurse from her mom. The zoo says Fiona is now a healthy 2,500 pounds. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. It was a great start, but a heartbreaking end for the Senators in Nashville.
I would not suggest that anyone coming to Nashville plan on wearing number 59.
Yeah, exactly.
And Wash on score!
Brady Tkachuk scored in the second period to make it 3-0. However, the Predators would claw their way back to tie the game at 3, and Steven Stamkos would score the winner with just over a minute left in the game. The Predators beating the Sens 5-3. Ottawa returns home to host Carolina and honor Jacques Martin tomorrow night. A look out for the no parking signs in the snow this weekend as the city continues snow removal operations. Crews will be removing snowbanks from residential streets and select arterial and collector roads. Temporary no parking signs will be installed in areas where the snowbanks will be removed. Thousands of people took advantage of the Canada Strong Pass to travel with Via Rail over the Christmas holidays. Via Rail offered free travel for children and teens 17 and under and discounted fares for youth aged 18 to 24 between December 12th and January 15th. Via Rail says there were more than 24,000 bookings made with the pass. The Crown Corporation says more than $1.9 million was saved thanks to the Canada Strong Pass. And 3 Las Vegas hotels are hoping to lure Canadians back to Sin City by accepting Canadian dollars at par. Circa Resort and Casino, the D Las Vegas and Golden Gate Hotel and Casino are participating in the At Par program until August 31st. Data from the Las Vegas airport shows 10 straight months of declines in visitors, with the biggest drop being flights from Canada. We want to go back out to Jackie now at the Chateau Laurier, where the Mayor's Gala is happening inside, and people are probably walking in and taking a few minutes to warm up before getting into the festivities tonight, Jackie.
Absolutely. They're warming up in the cocktail lounge where there's a wonderful electric violinist really stealing the show. We are inside here in the main hall where it's much quieter, but we are waiting for people to come in. But who is here, though, is Mayor Mark Sutcliffe. It's the Gold Hearts Gala, the Mayor's Charity Ball, and it's hosted by the Chateau Laurier. On a night like tonight, how are you feeling?
I'm very excited. First of all, Jackie, you look amazing. Yeah. Thank you for being part of this. I'm glad you get to enjoy this event with us tonight. And I want to thank the Chateau Laurier for hosting us for this event. As you know, Jackie, a few months ago, I made a pledge that we're going to end youth homelessness in Ottawa by 2030. I think we can all agree we can't be successful as a city if we still have children who are not sleeping in a warm, safe place every night. And so a lot of people have gotten behind that pledge. And tonight we're raising money to support some of the wonderful organizations in our community who are helping us achieve that goal. And the business community and all the leaders from the community are here tonight supporting this event. It's going to be a lot of fun, but most importantly, we're going to raise a lot of money for this really, really worthwhile cause in our community.
And again, Ottawa's just known for giving back and giving for its community. Such a great cause tonight. This is year 2. Last year was about the Ottawa Food Bank. This year, not just about the Ottawa Community Foundation, but also the pledge that you made to end youth homelessness by 2030. On a night like tonight, we talk about how cold it is. It's going to be a stretch of cold, vulnerable on top of many's mind, and even the conversation here. How about you? How meaningful is that for you?
It's really important. And as you say, Jackie, we live in a wonderful, generous, kind, giving community, and we see that over and over again. And to see so many people here tonight supporting this cause. I know the room looks empty now, but it's going to look very, very full soon. And to see so many people supporting this cause and getting behind this mission in our community. I've heard so much positive feedback about it since we made that pledge. We all need to work together to make sure that every young person in our community has a safe place to stay every night. And we're going to do that. We're going to end youth homelessness in Ottawa by 2030.
I appreciate you taking the time. Please enjoy this evening. And of course, we are going to send it back to you in studio, Patricia, again here for the Gold Hearts Gala for the Mayor's Charity Ball at the Chateau Laurier.
Both looking great. Thanks so much.
Snowblowers are very serious investments, especially if you're buying a 2-stage or 3-stage model.
Well, coming up, is it time to upgrade to a snowblower or an electric power shovel? Our consumer alert puts them to the test.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, it is shaping up to be a frosty weekend, and along with freezing temperatures, we may also have to deal with more snow to shovel in the next few days. If you're thinking of upgrading to a snowblower, electric models have improved, and there are also power shovels to make clearing snow easier. CTV's Pat Foran has more.
Following a snowstorm, if you own a snowblower, you'll be the envy of the neighborhood, but they're a big investment, so you want to make the right choice. That's why before the first snowflakes fall, Consumer Reports tests them with sawdust.
We use wet sawdust to test snow blowers because it has the consistency of snow.
Testers look at how fast they'll remove the snow, how far it throws the snow, and how each snowblower handles the dreaded plow pile at the end of your driveway.
Snowblowers are very serious investments, especially if you're buying a 2-stage or 3-stage model. In general, they only make sense if you have 3 or more serious snowfalls a year and you don't want to be beholden to a plow company.
2-stage snowblowers are ideal for bigger jobs and will typically clear snow faster and throw it farther than single-stage blowers. They're also better on hills and gravel driveways. The latest tests find gasoline-powered snowblowers continue to outperform electric and battery-powered models. However, battery-powered snowblowers have improved.
Battery-powered snowblowers are finally starting to catch up to gas models.
There is an affordable tool that can help you avoid shoveling that doesn't cost a fortune. This year, researchers also tested battery and corded electric power shovels.
Power shovel sort of looks like a light-duty snowblower, and it's really a hybrid between a snowblower and a traditional shovel. They're designed to go places where a snowblower would be overkill, like a short walkway or an elevated deck.
This $300 battery-powered Greenworks was the best of the bunch, but keep in mind these power shovels are heavier than a regular shovel, still require some muscle, and are only truly effective for 15 centimeters of snow or less.
If you're only going to buy one type of shovel, this type is the one to get. It works for a variety of conditions. It's wide, so you can lift up a lot of snow, and it even has a steel lip here for getting through compacted snow or light ice.
Another useful tool, getting help from everyone in your household and making clearing the snow a family affair. Pat Foran, CTV News.
On January 2026, Jacques Martin is added to the Senators' Ring of Honor at Canadian Tire.
Well, coming up 30 years after he stepped behind the Senators' bench the first time, Jacques Martin heads to the Ring of Honor.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Making the best of a cold weekend. Time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Coming up tomorrow is the Ring of Honor induction ceremony celebration Sens game. Your Sens are taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, and before the game starts, Jacques Martin is being inducted into the Ring of Honor with a special ceremony. Jacques Martin is a pillar of the Ottawa Senators organization, and to this day continues to make a difference. Saturday also happens to be exactly 30 years to the day of his coaching debut with the Ottawa Senators. So head to CTC to help celebrate a legend. Next on the list is United to End ALS. This is tomorrow at Meridian Theaters at Centerpoint, and it's a night of comedy, unity, and awareness in the fight against ALS. So grab your friends, family, and neighbors and spend the night laughing while supporting a great cause. All proceeds go to the Ottawa Hospital Foundation and Ottawa's ALS Clinic at the Ottawa Hospital. And last today is the annual Robert Plant Winter Market. This is tomorrow between 9 and 4, and a really great opportunity to support local and enjoy a day of browsing and shopping, all while getting to know some vendors within our community. Dogs are also welcome, so feel free to bring your dog along for a special Saturday outing. As usual, lots more happening this weekend around the capital. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, my name is Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, Canadian retail sales were up 1.3% in November from the previous month. Here's BNN Bloomberg, Morella Fernandez.
Retail sales came in over $70 billion in November,
with Canadians spending more for food and drinks. The end of a labor disruption in BC helped push sales of beer, wine, and liquor up over 14% month over month. Canadians also spent more on health and personal care products. Retail sales were up across 7 provinces, with Alberta leading in dollar amount of sales. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar up to 73.01. West Texas Intermediate up $1.71 to 61.07. Western Canadian Select is down $1.55 to 43.88, and the TSX gained 142 points for a new record close. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Well, coming up, as the southern United States prepares for winter weather, a police department is issuing a warning to people about who they hunker down with.
Well, Monday on CTV Your Morning Ottawa, we are launching our new feature, Your Neighborhood, visiting different parts of Ottawa and the region. Wake up the right way with Your Morning Ottawa, all starting at 6 a.m.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Not a bad plan if you're staying in to watch TV tonight. And here's what's on E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, Happy's Place, Stumble, and Boston Blue. Here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
We're here on the road 24 hours a day to provide that warming gear.
The polar vortex is going to make it a cold weekend in Ottawa. Overnight lows will drop to close to -30. About 10,000 federal public servants received notices this week letting them know their jobs may be at risk of being cut. Unions warn the cuts to the public service will affect all Canadians.
It can be really challenging to just stand and wait for an unknown amount of time for whenever the bus decides to show up.
OC Transpo is looking outside the capital for help to keep transit riders moving during a bus shortage. New data today shows 5% of bus trips were canceled last week. One final check on our forecast. Now back to the party at the Chateau Laurier, where the mayor is holding his gala tonight and where we find Jackie Perez. Jackie?
Yes, Patricia, the doors have just opened to the main ballroom. Guests are now finding their way in, and it is a nice night to be indoors because, boy, is it cold out there, and temperatures are going to continue to drop, and the coldest time for this weekend will be first thing in the morning. -27 is what we're going to be waking up to, feeling like -37. Yes, it will warm up to about -18. That's without the wind chill values, but then temperatures are going to start dipping again into -26. Keep an eye for Sunday, though. We are tracking a U.S. Weather system that is moving through, and this could be making its way up to parts of southern Ontario, bringing 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. We will likely start to see snowfall Sunday night, so if you are traveling Sunday, make sure to adjust your plans accordingly, because by Monday morning, it could be 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. A special weather statement is already in effect for Kingston as well as in Montreal. I imagine that we could see something for Ottawa as well. So not only are we going to be battling the deep freeze the next couple of days, but when temperatures start to warm, another significant snowfall is in store for us here in the capital region. Now, that's it from us here. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. Patricia, I hope to see you very shortly as well.
I am very much looking forward to it. And this is how we know that we're kind of used to this stuff, because I would imagine the turnout will not be affected at all tonight at the Chateau Laurier. A lot of people in that room already looking forward to a wonderful evening.
Absolutely, and it's again going towards a wonderful cause, part of the mayor's pledge to end youth homelessness by 2030. All funds going to this, as well as the Ottawa Community Foundation.
All right, Jackie, thank you so much. Hair looks great, by the way. We'll see you soon. Unfortunately, you are not headed over there because you are staying right here to look after the 11:30 news tonight. Right. Austin Lee is on top of it. And what are we working on for tonight?
Yeah, well, Patricia, we got some new details in this case of the former Olympic Canadian snowboarder turned international fugitive. Ryan Wedding, a recent U.S. Embassy press release appears to confirm that he actually surrendered to American officials. The 44-year-old is now in FBI custody after spending some time on the agency's top 10 most wanted list for allegedly running a violent transnational drug trafficking network. So we will have more on this story tonight. We'll also have some more details on others who may have been involved. You can also get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, will do. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
So finally for us tonight, as North Carolina prepares to get hit by a major winter storm, the Greenboro Police Department is cautioning people to make the right choice. This reminds me of some of the stuff we were putting out there in COVID. So in this tongue-in-cheek post on Twitter, police said, please remember that whoever you hang out with on Saturday, you're stuck with at least until Tuesday when the ice melts. You're either going to be besties or not. The city of Greenboro has declared a state of emergency with snow and freezing rain expected this weekend. So choose wisely on your companionship.
It does remind me of COVID times, being cooped up with a couple of roommates, 14 days in quarantine.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Still friends with those roommates?
Yeah, I love those guys, but we were making monkey noises. At one point, we were almost swinging from the chandeliers.
I can picture it.
Yeah. Actually, Sean did swing from a chandelier. He broke it.
Have a good warm weekend, everyone. Oh, my goodness.